beast mode and beast.
Hi guys, I'm here with your Golden Million Nugget tip for the day. If you go for looks, you will get hooked. And what happens to fishes who get hooked? They get cooked. Okay? Now, if your sexual drive does all the thinking and all the decision making in your quest for the one, I want you to think about how far that has actually gotten you. How far have you gotten by listening to her, your honeypot? What have you had to sacrifice? What have you lost by letting her make all of the decisions? Think about it. She has actually clouded your judgment. If on sight, he makes your panties get all in a bunch, keep it moving. Okay? Because what has just happened there is a switch. Now you're in the masculine energy and he's in his feminine energy. When you're in your masculine, you start looking, you're chasing. You're like, oh, I want you, take me, you know? You want him to fill your needs. And that's not attractive to the type of man that you want. But if you use your heart and your brain, then you can actually be able to use your discernment and carefully, look around and judge and make sure he's the right one for you. You'll be able to stay in your feminine. And by having control and waiting for his offer and making sure you compare it against other men's offers, because you should have more than one man offering whatever he has to you. You should have more than one. So you can size them up, use your discernment, and you have to choose wisely. You are the receiver. That is what turns men on. That is what makes them attracted to us. When you know how to receive. Alphas love to feel like the top dog. They like to be praised and thanked and admired. Because when doing that, you have just made their day. Remember, think with your brain and your heart, not with your honeypot. Because if you go for looks, you will get hooked. And what happens to fishes who get hooked? They get cooked. Trauma survivors have abandonment issues. Sometimes there are many different issues that everyone can have, but one of the issues are abandonment issues. And because of that, trauma survivors typically aim lower because they don't want to risk the chance of getting hurt. That's wrong. You're going to get hurt. Every man won't want you. You're not going to be every man's type, and that's okay. Are you having a hard time figuring out what your new type of man should be like? Well, a homework assignment for you is to think about the type of hobbies you see yourself doing in the future. So your homework assignment is to figure out the type of man that you want to be with, your new type. What are his hobbies? What hobbies do you think could be your thing? Do you like going out on boats and chilling and dressing laid back sometimes? Are you into race cars? Are you into snowboarding events? Or maybe you want to live on an island and try surfing. Some men are into extreme sports. Some men like to go hunting. Some men are into wine tasting. What type of new hobby can you see yourself doing that's out of the box, but you can actually live that life? That's the type of man that you need to focus on for your new type. And remember, think with your brain and your heart, not with your honeypot. Because what happens when you go for looks? If you go for looks, you will get hooked. And what happens to fishes who get hooked? They get cooked, okay? I want you guys to think about the way society has set you up to fail. Think about this double standard here. It is vain of you to dress yourself up, make yourself look pretty, and care about all the feminine extra cittiness. That is vain. But it is not vain of you to go after a man who is beautiful and fine and muscular or sexy, whatever. That's not vain. It's not vain of you to go after looks, but it's vain of you to care about your looks. That is a double standard. It is a lie, and it is set up to make you fail. Don't believe the hype. So it's not vain to date a hot guy, but it's vain to make yourself look hot. Men are not called vain for only dating young hot girls. Women who date only hot, cute guys aren't called vain. Don't believe the hype. Make yourself pretty every damn day, okay? Because you matter and you're doing it for yourself. And yes, it will bring you everything that you've ever wanted. So technically, it's not only for yourself, but in order for you to receive these things for yourself, you have to do these things outwardly. It's just the matrix that we live in, and you have to play the game. Life is a game. Have fun. Whatever you do. Do not invest in a man who is invested in his own looks. Your man should not take longer to get ready than you. Your man should not have you doing his hair, fixing his clothes, plucking his nose hair, whatever it is. You should not have to wait on your man to get ready. Maybe you don't have to wait, but either way, he should not be investing so much of his valuable time in how he looks. He should be investing all of his valuable time in making sure his books look correct. Plus, you need to think about something. A man who has devoted himself to hard work, a man who has devoted himself to providing or making a life for himself, he has been very focused on that goal. It has probably taken him years to attain it. Even though there are some who attain it quicker than others, that's not really a wise investment for your heart. They're still young. And at the end of the day, men mature slower than women, okay? So, older guys, they've worked longer, harder. They may have a little wear and tear. They're not going to look like a Forbes, Ford, Cosmo magazine, whatever those magazines are. They're not going to be the hottest guy of the year. Because what you're going to have is the truest guy of the year. That's what you want. The nice guy. Nice, older, wiser, has his shit together. That's what you need in your life. Think with your heart and with your mind, not with your honeypot. So I digress. So the hardworking man, after all his years of hard work, he deserves a prize. And this is why older men need love too. They've worked very hard. You work very hard every day to look pretty or to be smart. Hopefully both. Make sure your man has put in the work too. He's put in a lot of years of hard work. He wants a trophy. Act like a trophy and bam. Now, I'm using this word trophy very lightly. It's comical, it's catchy, that's why I use it. For all the feminists out there who are taking offense, I don't mean it in a literal sense. You're not just gonna sit there on a shelf. There are men who are looking for that, and that is also not the type of trophy spouse that you want. Those guys are self-centered. Those guys want to use you. They're probably abusive. They won't care about your emotions or how you feel about things. They won't ask for your input on matters that are important once you become married. Those type of guys are jerks. With that being said, just because a man is older or has more to offer, it does not mean that he's the perfect one. There are older, richer jerks, just like there are younger, hotter, poorer jerks. Men can be jerks all across the border, no matter the tax bracket. So still keep an eye out for that. And also keep an eye out for men who are looking for a personal prostitute. Those kinky, old, perverted guys. They are there. Weed them out. Avoid them. And just say whatever you have to say to get them out of your hair because they're disgusting. But not all old men are perverted. Okay, right, man? Who maybe to you looks average, should properly care for your heart. He should care about your offspring, if you're gonna have offspring. He should care about the essence of you. And these are nice men who have been swept under the rug because they don't look the part of what the typical hot girl or just woman who puts herself together goes for. You need to give these diamonds in the rough a chance. Diamonds in the rough, nice guys, older guys, average looking guys. They are who you want to be looking for. And above all, don't go for the bad boys. Maybe your type of bad boy has those really big Fords with the huge wheels. It's really obnoxious. He's got the tats and everything going on. Yeah, don't go for that. The really popular basketball player who's like ahead of his team or fraternity, whatever. Don't go for that type. The budding actor whose career will take off one day. Don't go for that type. Yeah, anybody hot, anybody who has to put in a lot of his own personal work and light on himself is not the type that you want. You want a nice, calm guy. Actually, this is all about your version of a trophy spouse. I can feed you some ideas that will get you to a better quality life. But at the end of the day, he just needs to be better than your usual for you, okay? Just something better than what you're used to. Even that would make him your trophy spouse. And to you, if your life is uplifted somewhat, that's a millionaire man, okay? You don't have to focus on the numbers if you don't want to. However, more numbers, better life, whatever. Just don't let anyone try and talk you out of going after what you want. Remember, if you go for looks, you will get hooked. What happens to fishes who get hooked? They get cooked. And please don't tell your girlfriends who don't understand your new way of living anything about this. Don't mention it. Don't share me. They won't understand. And it's not for them to understand. This is for you. This is your life. This is what you want to do. Stay focused. Focus on the dream. And any man that wants to call you out of your name because of it and says that you're different or you've changed or there's something flawed and wrong with you, remember they are projecting. Don't argue with them. Say, yeah, yes, that's right. And just keep it moving. They're not worth your time. When I give advice like this, I think about the daughters of men out there who can benefit from it. And I think of those guys coming up to me and saying, "Thank you so much for helping my daughter pick a good guy to bring home to me so I don't have to kick somebody else's ass." So men who might not reach this caliber that I'm setting for you ladies are going to talk nonsense about what you want to go after. But your fathers would be happy. Focus on that.
Trophy wife. I do it. Stop a heartbeat. Triple bypass on the track. Take a breath, breathe me in, sit back down, come right back. Reedy, Bleak, or Shanique. Legit, do you